Hey guys, K2's Retro Workshop. Today, we are not going to be servicing this Monroe 650 because it works fine. There's nothing wrong with this machine. What I am going to talk about is where I got this machine though. I got this machine from a place in Las Cruces, New Mexico known as Edgar Digital. And it's hard to put into words just how much stuff is there and what is there. So I took some footage last time I went there with some friends of mine, and I'm going to show that to you and kind of walk you through it in a moment. Stuff like this calculator, you've got this Voodoo 3 2000 that was sitting out in the Las Cruces sun forever. It's even got a little rusty VGA connector here I got to replace. There's so much there. So let's go take a look at this place. And here's the storefront for Edgar Digital. It's not very outstanding. You would totally drive by this place for years and never think to stop and look. This warehouse on the left, it's going to be the meat and potatoes of what most people are going to try to fly into the country to go see. I can tell you that right now. The part that I like, probably, I wouldn't say the most, but I find it the most interesting, is this back kind of yard area. Everything's exposed to the elements, so external plastics and metals and stuff are going to have the paint faded and things like that. But because of the dry New Mexico air, the electronics on the inside are usually in really good shape. You've got a pile of monitors here. Those actually all have the cords cut off, so they're not all that great. But here we've got an LC580 and an LC575 sitting right next to one another, giving you an idea of what might be under the tarp. Power Max, SEs, there's quite a bit under there. The trip down there is about 3.5 hour drive from Albuquerque. We make it a day trip by leaving earlier in the morning, coming back later in the evening. Here's a physical hazard for you. But yeah, we also tend to go in the fall and the spring because the warehouse and out here, obviously, is not climate controlled. So it's cold in the winter and it is hot in the summer. You can see the faded Power Mac, handles on there. And I'm sure that plenty of you are going to want to go back and pause and everything. I tried to get some halfway decent shots. I mean, look, we got a spider. How can you do worse than that? Here on the right in this section, on the other side of this pile, there's a bunch of big CRTs. We've got some Pentium 4 Dell, like RD RAM workstations and stuff. There's just tons here. Now, I will say that I don't know if it's like an increase in traffic or what's been going on, but some of the stuff that was outside seemed to be in much worse condition than it was about a year ago. And it could be because people are messing with stuff. It could be because, the sun was just finally taking its toll on it. But stuff is kind of degrading a little bit. There was a Color Classic back over here that looked wrecked compared to what it was in the fall. Or what it was last spring anyway. And over here to the right, we've got piles of motherboards. There's 286, 386, 486 motherboards there. You've got bins that are full of expansion cards. That pile right there was a bunch of LGA 775 motherboards and video cards. I think we found a couple of Voodoos in there. We went with the intention of digging, but man, you get there and it's just a huge undertaking. On the right here, you can see it's just stacks upon stacks of CD drives. But I'm going to take you inside now. Right here, you can see this is like science surplus from the labs. This is the very front of the store. And as we walk towards the back, you go into the large warehouse that I showed you before. Like I said, this is where most people are going to be the most interested because there's just things have been protected from the elements. And like I said, the dry New Mexico weather preserves stuff really well. Here, there's a wall of laptops. If we go around the first corner here, you will see tons of cables, data cables, keyboards up top. This is the Sun aisle. There's just tons of Sun workstations and accessories and things like that. like I said, it's almost hard to describe everything. This is the Apple aisle, which starts with a couple of PS2s on the top shelf. Good job. You've got pizza boxes. You've got the baby desktop cases. You've got laser 128s. There's like a half a dozen color classics just sitting here. Just tons of stuff. And, you know, you're not going to be going there to fill your trunk for $100 or anything like that. You know, he looks up most stuff on eBay. You know, he'll bring prices down or haggle a little bit, but not a whole lot for, you know, condition and things like that. But we've had pretty good luck with most of the machines, especially the ones that have been bought in this warehouse area. The machines have fired right up, or a buddy of mine just bought a Classic 2 and all it needed was a logic board recap. Fired right up. I actually am posting that video when I post this one. And stuff is in pretty decent shape. So here's a close-up of the front. I believe the area code is 575 if you're trying to call. Here's Roger's cat, and he likes to say hi. Very, very social cat. Final thing I'm going to show you here is the top view of the warehouse. Right behind me in this picture is a huge area with nothing but tubes. So yeah, if you guys want to travel out there or have any questions, let me know.